£500,000 is on the line in William Hill's final one standing. Football's ultimate free-to-play eliminator game. Pick one Premier League team to win each week, survive the chaos, and be the final one standing to take the prize.
Hi guys, and welcome back to DR Sports. As you can see, it's me and Uncle Laurie. We're back. How are you?
Lyle at 5.
Lyle at 5. How are you?
I'm here, man.
We're taking over. Do you know what I mean?
We are. I mean, I got to say though, I got caught in the rain earlier today,
Yeah,
which
so
is very
did I.
disappointing, especially when we were being told that we're in the midst of a heat wave.
Yeah.
So I come out of my apartment, make my way to my car, and I get drenched.
Yeah, I got caught in the rain as well.
Yeah,
Walking
and
here.
It's one of them type of rains, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
not
man.
like, so
It was like
there's
spitting
drizzle,
and that.
there's
Yeah.
light rain, and then there's rain, and then there's heavy rain.
Yeah.
And the time it took me to get to my car, I'd already got drenched. But anyway, I'm here now.
Nah, but guys, before we start, welcome to Live at 5. Don't forget, transfers, drama, and now your survival instincts are going to be tested. It's time for Final One Standing. It's free to play. It's a £500,000 jackpot. There's no admin fees, and it's only guaranteed winners. Just each week, pick one Premier League team to win. If they do, you're through to the next round. If not, if they lose or draw, you're out. Download the William Hill app, scan the QR code on the screen, or click the link below to enter. Register for free and make your pick for a shot at £500,000, which is a lot of money. You have to be 18 plus, and it's only available in the UK and Ireland. Remember to always gamble responsibly, and all the T's and C's are linked below. Right. There's a lot going on, man.
What I want to know is, has anyone on strike today? Has anyone refused to play? Has anyone walked out of training and said, I'm not coming back? What's going on?
I think it's the opposite. Let's start with Donnarumma of PSG, because this is this is a crazy situation where you've got a goalkeeper who's literally just had an incredible season. He's won, I think, the quadruple, I want to say. He's won the league, he's won 2 cups, and he's won the Champions League, in which he was excellent. We can attest to that as Arsenal fans.
Absolutely.
And all of a sudden, we're now hearing he's basically axed from the squad. Luis Enrique has come out and said, this is my decision. I don't want him a part of my squad. And now we're hearing, Pep saying he really likes him and he's agreed personal terms. It's just like it's like a whirlwind of information. I mean, what do you take on the whole thing?
Well, you know what my first thoughts on that is, and we were actually talking about this the other day, myself and Alex. Shout out to Alex. This was even before the Donnarumma thing happened, and we were saying that although some of these players, Isak, Wissa, and even Gyökeres to a lesser degree, have kind of thrown their toys out of the pram and threatened to go on strike. They want to play. They want to turn up for training, and I was making the point that, let's not get it twisted. The clubs, when they want to be ruthless, they can be equally ruthless.
Exactly.
So when this Donnarumma thing happened, I thought, there you go. That's an example of it.
Yeah, man.
After what he's done and what he's gifted. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's part of a team that won those
they made history, though. But
he was a key part of that
team specifically has made history. Do you know what I mean? At one point as well, they were going invincible in their league, which they went a certain amount of games unbeaten. Like, he will be regarded as a legend essentially of PSG for what he's done. He's helped them win the Champions League in a way that as well he played every moment of that Champions League run.
He made crucial saves, he saved penalties on the way to winning those competitions. And the man just gets thrown by the wayside by the manager, who's, I mean, I guess it's because they have identified another goalkeeper who is better at the ball with his feet.
Yeah, they have signed a new goalkeeper, but I think the rumours are basically that he also... So essentially, his contract ends next season, right? And he's one of the highest earners at the club. So he doesn't really want to sign a new contract. He's like, right, maybe I'll just wait it out to 2026, see what my options are, leave on a free. And PSG, they're not really trying to do that. They're saying, look, and also, you need to remember how he left AC Milan. He didn't leave AC Milan in a great way either. He almost AC Milan fans hate him. They call him Donnarumma because he left for money to go PSG. So
it's come full circle.
he kind of like forced the move to go to PSG, and now like almost like, I don't want to say karma, but it's like happening back to him.
This is what happens in football, man. It's ruthless.
But I do feel a bit sorry for him in a way, just because of how well last season was, and obviously since Luis Enrique's joined, we've never heard of him like having to drop Donnarumma. We've heard of Dembele being dropped because of attitude issues, for example, but this is someone that has actually committed and done really well for PSG, and now it's like all falling apart.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a ruthless business, and the manager's identified another keeper that he wants to promote, and he's going to do it.
Yeah.
And Donnarumma's been left hanging. But what is also interesting is that, Donnarumma looks like he's set to leave. Well, he will leave.
Yeah.
The links with City are weird and Pep. Because
Yeah,
wasn't
I
it
mean,
that same Pep who's made it clear from the outset when he took over at City that he wanted a goalkeeper that could play with the ball at his feet?
Yeah,
which is the reason why at the time he sidelined Joe Hart.
Yeah.
Remember? Who at that time people were saying was amongst the best in the world.
Yeah.
Basically, Pep came in and said, look, no thanks.
Yeah.
Persona non grata.
I mean, it is.
So for him to be linked with City is a weird one. Because
And they've just signed James Trafford.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, they bought him back because they're looking at it like, right, Ederson looks like he's potentially on his way out. He's linked to Galatasaray, I want to say, or Fenerbahce, one of the two. You know, they've basically said to Stefan Ortega as well, like, look, we've basically got James Trafford in. There's no, if you want to explore your moves at clubs, it won't be blocked. We will be willing to sell you. And now all of a sudden you're thinking, right, it's going to be Ederson, and Ederson, who also came out and said he's happy at City, he likes being there. The Turkish links have gone a bit stale. But now all of a sudden you're hearing Donnarumma potentially going to City. It's like, what?
Yeah, that's a weird one.
It
Because
kind
like
of puts
I
a
said,
spanner in the works for someone like James Trafford, who's probably joined thinking, right, Ederson's on his way out. I'm a young, upcoming English goalkeeper. I was part of the City Academy. I know Pep Guardiola as well and a lot of those players. I've played in the Premier League as well. He had a great season last season. It's like, right, this is my opportunity to get that number one spot. But then you're probably hearing, right, we're going to sign, in the background, he's right, probably thinking, they're about to sign Donnarumma. What does that mean for me? Donnarumma can't be number two. He's not being bought to be a number two.
Especially after what happened to him at PSG,
Yeah.
he's not going to want to come and warm the bench. I thought he was going to go to Man United,
I mean,
which makes
yeah.
a lot of sense because let's be honest,
Yeah,
Andre Onana has not covered himself in glory at the moment. But as we
I think
speak,
he's just come back from
injured.
an injury, or he's still injured. I'm not too sure. He's done like a hamstring or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. So I was under the impression that Donnarumma was going to United. When I heard the links with City, and they appear to be quite strong links, I mean, I don't know if it's going to materialise that way, but when I heard the links with City, the first thing I was like, but isn't this the same Pep that demands of his goalkeepers that they're very good with the ball at their feet? If you watch Donnarumma, the one thing people say about him, he's an outstanding goalkeeper
He's
as
very
a shot
big.
stopper and
Probably
saver.
the biggest goalkeeper around at the moment.
6'7",
Yeah.
absolute behemoth, great agility. But the one thing people say is that he's not good the ball with his feet. Everybody says that.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
Yeah.
Listen, man.
I mean, Lea Quick basically said that he's apparently agreed terms with Manchester City, so he's open to the move. It looks like if he's going to move, which PSG are essentially forcing him to move, it will be to a Premier League club. But we don't know how much for. I mean, it's a massive turn of events.
It is. And yet another story that's
Yeah.
just given this current transfer window so much to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, literally every day something happens that you scratch your head over. And that's another one. Because like I said, I never saw that. I saw the Donnarumma to Man United. I thought, yep, that makes a lot of sense. Surplus to requirements of PSG. Going to United, who, let's face it, they've had goalkeeping issues for a while. That makes sense. Because no disrespect to Onana, but to me, Donnarumma is not only an upgrade
He is
on
better.
Onana, he's a significant upgrade.
Yeah, he is,
So that
he
made
is.
a lot of sense. But to City, given the way that, as I said before, Pep seems to want to play, or as, stated quite unequivocally when he took over, he wants to play with a keeper that can pass the ball out and be comfortable on the ball. That is not Donnarumma. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm just reading how PSG signed Lucas, I don't know how to say his name, Chevalier. I want to say he's from Lille, maybe.
Yeah.
He won goalkeeper of the year.
Yeah, apparently he's an
last season.
outstanding
Yeah,
young
apparently
talent.
he's fantastic. I mean, as his successor, and we know already that Donnarumma's been excluded from the Super Cup, which is obviously tonight. And as
He
well,
released a statement.
Yeah,
didn't he?
yeah. I'm just going to read. So this
he's
is
not
his
happy,
statement in English. It says, to the special Paris fans, from the first day I arrived, I gave everything on and off the pitch to earn my place and defend the goal of PSG. Unfortunately, someone has decided that I can no longer be a part of the group and contribute to the team's success. I'm disappointed
Who's
and
that someone, do you
disheartened.
think?
It's Luis Enrique.
It's got to be Enrique.
And
yeah.
Luis Enrique has already come out and said, look, it's my decision. I'm backing my decision. I don't basically want him a part of my squad, a part of my team.
Do you reckon there might be something deeper going on?
I personally think the club has probably looked at it and said, look, we paid a lot of money to get this guy in from AC Milan, right? You're one of the highest on our wages. There's no way you're just going to leave for free. Like, do you know what I mean? I think as well with PSG, they're probably looking at like, right, how much did I don't know how much Neymar went for. They lost Messi for a free.
Yeah.
Like, they've lost quite a few. They lost Kylian Mbappe recently for a free. They're probably looking at it like, we're not going to lose another top player who's just had basically a world-class season for free. That's crazy. And then as well, you're going to potentially a Premier League team, which we know the Premier League teams have money. We're looking at Man City. They've spent the most of any Premier League team. They spent about 300 million in January alone. And they've probably spent about the same amount in this window. So I think they're probably looking at it like, you're not going to just wait out another year at PSG, getting top wages. You're going to go this season. You're either going to sign a contract, which you don't want to do, or you're going to leave. And
so it kind of makes sense from the club's point of view as well. But like I said, it just highlights the ruthlessness with which these things go at top level, both in terms of the clubs, and we're now seeing it with the players. If a deal doesn't suit them, the player is quite happy to say, look, I'm leaving. And if they don't get their move, then they're prepared to take it even further, as we're seeing.
Yeah, man.
So, interesting.
It is very interesting. I mean, obviously, he's not going to be playing tonight. I mean, what's your thoughts on tonight? Do you think Spurs got a chance?
Not really, no.
Yeah, you would expect PSG to obviously
I mean,
beat
it's
them.
interesting because Spurs, they played okay when we played them.
Yeah, but they've been battered.
But then since then, the very next game, they got battered by Bayern, didn't they?
Yeah,
and what's interesting about this as well is I've spoken to your dad just before I come on air. Like, so Tottenham, they got this game tonight against PSG, which is a high-profile game.
Yeah, it's in Udinese.
It's not a friendly, really. Is it? It's not a friendly.
Yeah.
And then their opening Premier League game is on Saturday.
Yeah.
Not even Sunday, Saturday against Burnley.
Limited rest.
So,
well, no rest really.
Yeah.
Essentially. And plus, it's away. They're having to fly out to Italy to play this game. So for them, I mean, don't get me wrong, they are playing.
Not that I feel sorry for them.
Yeah. I mean, they are playing, no offence, Burnley on the first day, which we'd expect them to beat Burnley. But then you look at last season, they didn't beat Leicester. They did beat Ipswich. So
Ipswich beat them twice.
Ipswich beat them twice, and they beat Southampton, of course. But Leicester, they drew with Leicester 1-1 away, and they lost to Leicester at home. I mean, they're a new outfit now, kinda, with Thomas Frank, but then they're still kind of.
Yeah, I would have to make PSG firm favourites.
Yeah, you would
for
have
that
to
game
make
tonight.
PSG favourites for sure.
Yeah.
But you can't write anything off because, as I was saying to Stuart,
Tottenham are just going to deploy a low block in it. Let's have it right. They're going to do to PSG what they did to us. The problem they might have, though, is that I don't think PSG will be as profligate as we were. We should have beaten them and we didn't.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I think as well that interchanging front three will be hard work for Spurs to defend.
And I think from what I'm picking up, the vibe I'm picking up is that PSG feel a bit wounded after that loss to Chelsea. Yeah, of course. So they're going to want to put that right tonight. That being said, though, after the Chelsea game, I'm being told that they granted the players a vacation.
Yeah, as
and
they
they've
should,
only just come back. So they've only been back in training for about a week and a half.
True,
so
yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens. But you know what? Let's just talk about Spurs since we're on it.
Do we have to?
Eberechi Eze, obviously someone who's linked to Arsenal, but apparently is advancing in talks with Spurs.
Advancing? Oh,
you know, Spurs really need a midfielder. They've lost James Maddison, unfortunately, for ACL. They've missed out on Morgan Gibbs-White with the whole Forest illegal thing. And then as well, Eze can play on the left. He can play centrally. I mean, if they're able to get it done, not only are they gazumping their fiercest rivals, but they're getting a fantastic player. Do you know what I mean?
Well, listen, let's hope that doesn't happen. If Tottenham come and gazump that Eze deal, I will be severely
Arsenal
disappointed.
fans would be fuming.
And I'm choosing my words carefully here because this is a family show. So I don't want to, turn the air blue. But to say that I was peed off when I heard that Spurs were showing an interest. Because to me, I know your dad, this is where me and your dad disagree now. So I've always said that with Arsenal, sometimes we're not as aggressive with these things as we need to be. What Arsenal will tend to do is they will identify a target.
Yeah.
And then you will have this long process of deliberations, negotiations, going back and forth, prevaricating. And sometimes you just want them to go in there and nail it. How long now have we been talking about the possibility of Eze coming to Arsenal.
Yeah, very
They
long
got us
time.
all excited because pretty much to a man, all the Arsenal fans want Eze.
Yeah.
Right. In fact, I've not spoken to a single fan that doesn't want Eze.
Yeah. It's
Right.
very true.
So get it done, man. Why we, you know what I mean? He should be here pretty much already.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
To
I
hear
agree.
now that Spurs have all of a sudden come in. And I watched your dad's show this morning, and he did make a couple of good points. It could be the agent
Yeah.
being a bit mischievous.
Could be.
You know what I mean? Inviting interest from Spurs so then he can go to us and say, look, man, let's hurry up and get this done. Because.
Yeah.
But regardless of all that, I don't know about you. You will obviously have your own thoughts, but I would have loved Arsenal to have got the deal done weeks ago. So just to avoid this type of stuff.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think just watching Arsenal's pre-season, it ended well, but you can still see kind of a hole on that left side. I mean,
100%.
Martinelli is not up to the level. Madueke, he can play there, but he's not his best position's on the right. Trossard at the moment is injured, so you kind of look at that position like it is. If you get a top player in like Eze, then you know
It
that
helps with that left side.
helps with the left-
Also,
it helps balance out the team.
Also, we had issues with the number 10 position last season with
Yeah.
Martin Odegaard. As good a player as he is, he had injury problems, he had loss of form.
Yeah.
Where we are now, we cannot afford to go into another season with those types of issues. So Eze coming in would have given us that cover on the left, and he also provides valuable cover. If Odegaard is misfiring or is injured or whatever the case might be,
Yeah.
Eze could easily step into that position and do it with aplomb. So the deal makes sense in every way.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So get it done, man. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
man.
You get it done, then you stop all this other speculation stuff.
Yeah, and I think for Eze, I mean, he's allegedly not come out and said, but the reports are saying that he wants to play Champions League football. He's also got the World Cup on his mind, so he wants to play as many
course.
minutes as possible, which to me personally, he should be going with the England squad. I mean, look how talented he is. I think it would be a massive loss for England if he wasn't to go. So, I mean, I guess from a Spurs point of view, Spurs could promise him much more minutes, especially centrally, than an Arsenal would, because an Arsenal are probably looking at like, right, we've got Martin Zubimendi, he's going to be playing, Declan Rice is definitely going to play, to maybe move your captain. I mean, at this moment in time, that's quite possible, considering that Odegaard, especially last season, he was brought off a lot of times. It is an area of competition with but then you've also got Ethan Nwaneri in there, who's you know, wants to play as much as possible. And then at the left as well, you know, you've got I know it sounds crazy, but you've got Martinelli and Madueke on there, who also, as we saw in Arsenal's pre-season, Arteta has deployed there. So from a Spurs point of view, I mean, for Eze, it might be, not say more attractive, but for him it might do him better.
You are right.
Yeah,
Listen,
it might do him
if
better
you're
to move
Eze,
there, because he's definitely going to play.
You've been playing week in, week out for Palace. You
Yeah.
don't want to go to another club and be sitting on the bench. No one wants to do that,
Exactly.
regardless of wherever you are in your career. Everybody wants to be playing week in, week out. So I do get it, especially with Maddison being out. It's highly likely that he will start most weeks. Will he start most weeks at Arsenal? Probably not.
Yeah.
So there is that factor. But the point I'm making is that, in fact, if I'm being honest, initially Spurs were linked with Eze.
Yeah,
weren't
so
they?
what first things first, yeah, they were linked with him. I think, do you know what, this goes so far back, I think this is just after we bought Norgard. I'm not even joking. That's how long ago. So they wanted him first, and then basically Arsenal came in, and it was like, right, he wants to join Arsenal.
Yes.
That's kind of the thing. They kind of pulled out interest. They went after Morgan Gibbs-White. That obviously didn't work out. Unfortunately, James Maddison's done his ACL. They're trying to now go back in for him, which is fair, because at this moment in time, he's not an Arsenal player. He's a Palace player, and Palace are a selling club. They are, you know, we saw what Steve Parrish said the other day about Mark Gay. So
Yeah, listen, what frustrates me is the fact that Arsenal were heavily linked with this player. We were being led to believe as Arsenal fans that Eze, I'm sure I saw something where they said Eze had agreed personal terms with Arsenal. I know that's not the be-all and end-all, but I'm sure I heard that. So you're thinking to yourself, right, okay, things are looking like they're advancing nicely. And then only to be advised, only to learn that Spurs are now not just interested, but what was the term you used? Things are advancing.
Yeah, advancing.
That is very frustrating for me to hear that. I just hope that whoever it is, Berto, whoever, Arteta, whoever, man, let's get this done. Get it done. Because if you don't, it's going to be a seriously disappointing development. Or lack of development.
Exactly. And speaking of another midfielder, your best mate, Yves Bissouma. He's been excluded by Thomas Frank, who actually said that he's turned up late multiple times. I mean, we've dealt with a late player before, and we've had them excluded. Obviously, our late player is 10 times the player than Yves Bissouma was, which was Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, but he was still... That basically caused his demise. I mean, for Yves Bissouma, this is a season of opportunity. You look at that Spurs midfield at the moment, there's not much to choose from. And this is where he could stamp himself down and say, you know what, I can play in this. He's a player that can play in multiple different positions in that midfield. This is where he should be thinking to himself, right, new manager's in, there's a new style of play. Let me cement myself and show this manager, Thomas Frank, who's a very fair and, he's known for his... What's the word?
He's known for his
player relationships and things like that. He should be going into that with a fresh mindset, saying, "Right, I want to impress this guy as much as possible," but he's turning up late.
Idiot. Let me just say, and this goes back to I had a number of conversations with people post the Aubameyang thing, and I said to them, and I know I'm right about this because I've spoken to people within the game about it. Footballers turning up late is not a new phenomenon. It does happen a lot more than what most fans might believe. This idea that all these guys, they're young guys, some of them are pretty indisciplined when it comes to things like this. So you can just imagine that if he's been called out for this, you can imagine it's been going on for quite some time. And I've always said to you, Kenny, you'll be my witness.
Yeah, it's very true.
Someone like Yves Bissouma, what are you, bro? Are you a footballer? Are you a rapper? Are you an Afrobeats? Because all I see with this guy is him posting all these pictures of him in these lurid outfits. Focus, bro. Like you're a talent. You've got God-given talent. You're living out your dream. You're playing for one of the top teams in England, in the Premier League, which is the best league in the world, in my opinion, most people's opinions. You're earning a stack load of money, creating hopefully generational wealth for you and your family, and you're gonna potentially throw all that down the pan just because you can't turn up to meetings and training in decent time. And you've obviously transgressed on a number of occasions, because that is the statement that's come out, hasn't it?
I mean,
he's been late a number of times, so that means you're probably late every week.
I mean, just seeing what Thomas Frank said, in short, he said he's been late several times. The latest one was one too many. And he says, I'm a big believer of principles and structuring the team offensively and defensively. So Thomas Frank has essentially said, yo, I'm not taking this anymore. It's not the first time. It's multiple times. And you think about Thomas Frank's not even been there for very long.
Exactly.
How many times can one turn up late?
And on Bissouma as well, and this is why I've got to speak out against this guy, right? He is a talented player, but that indiscipline off the pitch, we've seen it on the pitch as well. How many times he got sent off and booked for making rash tackles and doing silly things? Yeah, man, just bro, screw your head on right, man. Wind your neck in, focus on your football. You're a very talented individual. You know what I mean? Work hard, do your thing, get the most out of your career. This type of stuff, bro, you should be above this. Come on, bro, fix up.
And because of that now, he's going to miss out playing on the Super Cup, which is a chance to win another trophy for Tottenham. It's a fantastic moment for their club.
And not only that, Kenny, right? Let's be honest. If the manager's calling you out like this, make no mistake, your career at Tottenham is on the line. He's already probably thinking that, you know what, he will be replaced in time. That's what that speaks to me, right? Especially with the Eze links and all the rest of it. That manager coming in and saying, you know what, I can't trust this guy.
And I think
I can't put my faith in somebody. He can't even be bothered to turn up on time. I've spoken to him already. He keeps doing it. The public nature of this suggests to me that Bissouma is on borrowed time at Spurs.
And I think what's obviously sad about the whole situation is that you think about how highly thought of he was at Brighton. I mean, we even Arsenal
he's a good player.
Arsenal even wanted him, and at the time when Spurs bought him, it was like, wow, this is a huge coup, this is a fantastic signing, and he's not really lived up to that.
No.
As you said, there's been a lot of sending offs and silly moments here and there on and off the pitch.
Go look at his Instagram. You'll see all these
and even
weird
in terms of that,
outfits and Afrobeat stuff, raps. Oh, yeah,
I mean, look, I've always said I don't care what a player wears or does, but as long as you represent your club well on the pitch, I don't mind. So when Aubameyang's another one where he was flashy dresser, I didn't mind that because he was winning us things. He was turning up in every single game and scoring us winners and winners, and he was winning the Golden Boot. And you start to look at it and you say, right, do whatever you want outside. You have respect because it's like, do whatever you want because you're performing on the pitch. But when you're a Spurs fan and I don't know, you're under the cosh, especially under Ange's reign, where it's not going to plan, especially defensively, and you've got a player who's not really locked in, doing all this flashy stuff. There's a new regime now. He's still kind of on that mindset. It's very disheartening.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you do make a point. We shouldn't be overly concerned about what these players wear. I have to remember, these are young guys, and I was young once, believe it or not. So I don't want to make too much of it. But sometimes you can look at certain players and you think to yourself, are you more focused on your public image in terms of how you look, your swag, or are you more focused on what goes on the pitch? I mean, and you look at someone like Bissouma, and I'm sorry, he's not got the ratios right. I look at him and I'm thinking, you're a guy that seems more interested in swag than you are in getting things right on the pitch. That's just how it looks to me.
Yeah.
And listen, Kenya will tell you, I've called out Bissouma even before this, innit?
It's fair.
I've said to you, he looks like a guy that's not focused.
Yeah, that's true.
And look, here we are.
Yeah, hearing Thomas, and although I know Thomas Frank's at Spurs right now, I really rate Thomas Frank. He's a fantastic manager. And I feel like as well, I can't really remember times where Thomas Frank's ever really called out a player at Brentford.
Exactly.
So
and he's had characters. I mean, look at someone like Ivan Toney in him.
Yeah.
Ivan Toney's a man that is a larger-than-life character. But on the pitch, he was all business.
Represented,
you know what I'm saying? So with Bissouma, the way he's going, he'll be lucky if he's at Tottenham in January.
Yeah, well, you're
He'll
probably right.
gone.
And then as well, you think about it, that's probably why the likes of Pap Sarr, Bergvall, etc. all
Humble
start.
yourself,
That's probably
Bridget.
why they have the opportunity to look. Especially someone like Bergvall, who's very young. You think about last season, he had a really good season for Spurs, although I know they were really poor. He had a really good individual season. You start to understand maybe why Andrew was like, you know what, I'm going to play this kid because he's so screwed on. He really wants to focus. He just wants to play. He listens to my instructions. And now you've got another manager coming in and basically saying the same thing. It's just,
And not only that, in any environment, whether you be at work in the office or on a building site or any vocation, sport, whatever.
Yeah.
A new manager's just come in, right? Most sensible people are thinking, you know what, I need to be on my best behaviour because the new manager, I need to, see what his things are like. The last thing you want to be doing is turning up for work late every day.
Yeah,
so the manager's thinking, look at this guy.
Yeah, doesn't care about his job,
Yeah,
not
you know
locked
what I mean?
in. I think as well, his teammates as well. It's a disrespect to your teammates.
Of course it is.
Do you know what I mean? I mean,
Of course it is.
we also, just on a positive note, Christian Romero now been given the armband, which is, I think that's really good for Spurs. He's a good leader. It's quite funny though, because he obviously was kicking up a fuss saying he really wants to leave. Obviously that's not happened, but he's still locked in with Spurs. Do you know what I mean? I think
he's a person who has shown indiscipline on the pitch in terms of his tackling. He's a very physical player.
Yeah.
Loves to tackle, very aggressive, very alpha male. But the difference is that he's locked in, like you said. You know what I mean? So, and obviously the manager's come in, seen he's obviously a strong character, I said, alpha male type. A leader.
He's also a winner as well.
Yeah, and a winner with Argentina and other previous clubs. Thomas Frank's come in, has identified him as I want him to be my man on the pitch to lead things.
Yeah.
Whereas Bissouma, turning up late, looking like he's just come from a Burna Boy concert, you know what I mean? Like with anyway, let's go. Let's move. Bissouma, you're a fool, bro.
But you know what?
All that talent and you're throwing it down the drain just because you can't be bothered to get out of bed early in the morning or whenever it is, or you just can't fix up yourself to get into work on time. Poor, man. Very poor.
It is very poor. But you know what? Speaking of someone who is trying to almost redeem themselves, Calvert Lewin. He left Everton on a free this summer after I think about 8 seasons at Everton, 9 seasons at Everton, and he's he's joining Leeds. Apparently he's doing his medical, or he's just done it. I mean,
is he the one that sacked 2 agents or something? I heard that he sacked his agent.
I'm not too sure, you know. Maybe.
I heard a story that he sacked his agent because he wasn't happy with the way the deals were being handled, or the way business was being taken care of. So he basically sacked his agent and thought, no, I can do it myself.
I mean,
and he's got to move.
He's got himself a move. I mean, before Leeds, I mean, there was links to Man United, but it was more of just like, oh, why don't Man United explore him just because he's free? It was never like a concrete thing that Man United really wanted to do. But for Leeds, I mean, obviously they're a team that's just been promoted back to the Premier League. They are obviously a big club, sleeping giant. They obviously want to try and stay in the Premier League. Is getting someone like Calvert Lewin good business? He's
good,
free.
yeah, it is, because I think the one thing listen, first and foremost, we know he's a very good player.
Yeah,
talented
he's
player.
got talent.
Got a number of physical attributes that lend well to the Premier League. The problem that he's had is that the injury concerns. He's not been able to stay fit long enough to really hold down a place and make an impression. So he'll be thinking he's through the worst of that now.
Yeah.
And if he can stay fit, I think he'll definitely be an asset to Leeds. So
Yeah.
I think that's a good move all round. And like I said, here we have a player that is, desperate to play, desperate to do the right thing, sacked his agents so he could get a move.
Yeah, you're right, by the way.
You know what I mean?
Someone in
So
the
that is
comments
the
said
kind
he did.
of, attitude or, personality that you want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The only thing that he will have to prove now is if he can just stay fit. I mean, he's you think about it, at one point he was linked to us. He was linked to Arsenal a couple of seasons ago. Do you know what I mean? After having that really good season. But
if he can stay fit, he will definitely be an asset to Leeds. I doubt if he'll start every week, given the nature of the injuries some of them he's had. I don't see him as a week-to-week player, but he could definitely improve Leeds.
Yeah, for
100%.
sure. No, I agree. And as well, they need that Premier League experience. He's been at Everton. He knows what a relegation scrap is like.
That's right.
And he knows how to stay up, essentially. So you've got someone who can maybe help with the players that have probably never been in the Premier League, or players that have maybe been here before but have only been relegated. And as well, for Leeds, it's a really big season, especially for Daniel Farke, who obviously he was promoted this season, but the season before where they definitely should have completely fell away.
Well, you know what? It's interesting because although he got promotion with Leeds, if you remember, at the end of last season, a lot of people were saying that's it.
Yeah.
They should
Shout out
move
James
him on
Toon,
and bring in a manager.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I mean, me personally, I do hope Leeds stay up. They are a big club.
Yeah, you want to see Leeds
and I
versus
do want to
United.
see big clubs in the Premier League. It makes it better for everyone watching.
Yeah, of course.
So I hope Leeds do stay up. It'll be interesting. They're probably going to need to make a few more signings. I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin to Leeds is a good move.
Yeah, and funnily enough, they play Everton on their first game back on a Monday night. I mean, is this a team that you maybe think, right, could I pick Leeds for my last man standing? My final one standing. They've got Calvert-Lewin now. They're trying to.
Although Everton have got Grealish now, so they'll be buzzing.
It's true. Yeah. It's very true.
I mean, for my last man standing, I know we're digressing slightly. I went for City. They're away to Wolves, but I just think City. I think some people are sleeping on City, and I just think that first game at Wolves, I think that they're going to try and make a statement.
Yeah.
But yeah, to go back to the Wolves-Everton, man. I mean, Grealish at Everton, that's giving them new energy.
Yeah, man.
Calvert-Lewin to Leeds, that looks like a good game.
Yeah, I mean, let's speak about Jack Grealish quick, because obviously this is someone who at one point was bought for £100 million. Joined Man City. His highest scoring City season was 5 goals in the league, which I don't know about you. To me, that's very disappointing. For someone that
100%.
For someone that was bought for £100 million, that's, to me, I think it's something that a lot of people brush over. But
let's be honest, Kenny, because you know what I've seen. Right?
He did win a lot. He won the league. He won the Champions League. I think as well in that season he spoke about when they won that treble, about how that was his best season at City, and he felt like he contributed much more compared to the season before when they won the league. And he felt like, okay, we've won the league, but I didn't really play as much of a part in it. But
why was that?
But now, obviously, we've seen Pep, basically, when they went to the Club World Cup, Pep's like, you're not a part of my squad, you're not a part of my future plans, you have to find yourself a move. He's now been loaned out to Everton. This is a place where he can revamp himself and show, actually, you know what, I've gone to City, I've not really impressed, although I've won a lot. but I can get back to what I used to be, which was this really exciting, you know, kind of number 10 into the left winger, really exciting flair type of player that I was bought 100 mil for. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, everything you said there is correct. I mean, he is a very talented player. I remember watching him play for Villa. He was outstanding. He was their main man, their talisman. Looked really good. Got the move to City for the first season or so. Looked really good. But let's be honest, man. The last couple of seasons at City have been pretty disastrous for him. The fact that Pep pretty much sidelined him and got him out of there tells you a lot. And I may need to choose my words carefully in what I say about this, but I do think the point needs to be made. I think one of the reasons why Jack Grealish did not enjoy a lot of success in City in his most recent years is because of the so-called lifestyle he was conducting off it. And a lot of that seems to be going under the radar, doesn't it? A lot of the press do not seem to want to highlight it. Everybody wants to refer to Jack Grealish as this kind of cheeky, chappy kid from Birmingham. And yeah, man, Jack's a great lad. And but let's be honest, man. If we're being honest now, people, there have been stories going around for a long time that Jack Grealish does enjoy himself off the pitch. So if we're going to call out Bissouma and one or two others for their indiscipline off the pitch, it's only right that we should say that. How many times have you seen like pictures of Jack Grealish being filmed publicly, looking less than, you know what I mean?
Yeah, not kept.
Let's be honest, looking inebriated, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, come on,
That's
you know what I
fair.
mean? And I find, Kenya, tell me if you think I'm being unfair, but a lot of people seem to don't want to talk about it.
Yeah,
it's almost like they're just ignoring it.
It's a bit of a double standard.
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's definitely double standard. People going after Rashford.
Yeah, I was literally about to bring up
and
Marcus
other
Rashford.
people, and quite rightly, go after Rashford when he's effed up. Go after him, but apply the same logic and the same standards to the likes of Grealish. Grealish didn't just fall out of favour for City because of loss of form. Let's have it right. He was doing things that were less than professional. A lot of people know about it, but a lot of people do not want to talk about it or highlight it. Yeah. So I think I need to make that point.
Yeah, no, I think that's very fair. You mentioned Marcus Rashford, who I was going to bring up, and I always say to people, like, look, we sit here and we talk about Marcus Rashford, and you know what, rightfully so at times, Marcus Rashford has let himself down, but there's a guy that was bought for £100 million. Like, that's a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? Hardly anybody else in our league. There's only a few other players that have been bought for that amount and above, right? There's probably about 5 other players. And you could say all of those other players that were bought for that amount, Declan Rice, Caicedo, Enzo, at least they've performed on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? To justify that money.
Caicedo and Rice have been brilliant.
And I just think, you look at Jack Grealish and it's like, he's gone to City. I mean, I've got his stats here. His best season, which was the 22-23 season, he scored 5 goals and got 7 assists. I mean, in the season after that, he scored 3 goals, and then last season he scored 1 goal and got 1 assist. I mean, that's poor for someone.
For 100 mil.
For 100 mil. And as well, you think about it, if I'm a football player and I'm playing for Man City, right, I'd be like, I'm so lucky. I'm playing for such a fantastic team, a club that's got, you know, a core support, and it's got one of the best managers that have ever been in Pep Guardiola. He's an absolute talisman. Just to be underneath him and learn so much and be able to elevate my game, I'd be going into that training ground every week.
Excellent point you make. You know what I'm going to say to that as well? There's this misnomer going around as well. Let me just highlight that as well.
Like, imagine saying, I'm playing with Erling Haaland, one of the best strikers around. He's just broken all of the records in his first season. I'm playing with Rodri, who's like literally the best DM in the world currently. Like, do you know what I mean? You're playing with top talents, and you've got a top manager, and you're kind of going in with that with the wrong mindset. And it's sad because now he's, you know, fumbled his bag at Man City, where wingers at Man City currently, none of them are staple starters at Man City. Doku isn't a staple starter. And
but you know what it is, though? There is this misnomer going around that almost as like Pep has coached out the talent out of Jack Grealish. That is not true. And the stats bear that out. Jeremy Doku, who you mentioned there, is on the record, all right, you can go check the stats. In terms of dribbling, he has the most dribbles in the Premier League. So this thing about, Jack's not been able to flourish because Pep has coached it out of him, and no, that is not true. They are encouraged to express themselves in the final third. I've heard the players talk about it. So that excuse that a lot of people make for Jack Grealish is not flying with me.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, man. He's a very talented player. like I said, he blew up the spot. When he was playing for Villa,
Yeah, man, he was
a joy
fantastic.
to watch.
He was fantastic.
And even his first season at City, he did really well. He
Yeah.
was part of that championship winning team, or treble winning team.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Did
He
really
looked
well.
good. But since then, bro, it's gone downhill. And
Yeah.
he has to take accountability for that as well. To me, he has not lived the best life outside of football.
Yeah.
And what has annoyed me is that it doesn't get reported anywhere
it
near
doesn't.
enough as much as some other players
Yeah,
have done.
we have to.
And I just
And he's
don't
older.
like that.
Jack Grealish is like 30. as
Yeah,
well,
and
so
when you
you'd
consider
expect
as
him to
well
know
that
better.
he cost 100 mil.
£1 It's a lot of
Come
money.
on, man.
Yeah, I mean, Robertinho, 546, he's obviously a City fan. He says, keep waffling on Cognac Jack, treble and 3 Prems. But the fact that he's called him Cognac Jack, I think that kind of sums up what we're saying.
You just made my point for me.
Do
The
you know what
fact
I mean?
that you've given him that moniker tells you know what I mean? And this is what I'm saying, isn't
Yeah.
it? Oh, Jack, man, Cognac Jack, he's our guy.
Yeah.
Look at him, yeah, he's a great lad. That's fine, yeah, but when he's not producing and you lot are making excuses for him and stuff
Pep
like that.
obviously agrees with what we're probably saying, because he's probably looked at it and said, right, this guy, I bought him for 100 mil. He's not locked in. I want him to play. He's not, his fitness issues, he's got a lot of fitness issues as well. What's the point? I'd rather go and just, get maybe a younger player who's more locked in, like a Doku, who maybe doesn't have the end product that we'd expect of him, but he's willing to do what I ask him of.
Exactly.
So,
He's probably blessed with more natural talent than Doku. But for whatever reason, and like I said, it would appear that part of that reason is the lifestyle that he was living off the pitch. And like I said, it's really funny to me. A lot of people don't seem to, we all know it's there,
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
knows, but none of the people in the press or the media want to talk about it. All they want to
privilege,
do is say, oh, Jack's a great guy, which I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's a great guy, but come on, let's be fair. If we're going to criticise, I've done it on this show. If I'm going to criticise Bissouma for his perceived lack of professionalism, it's only right that we call out other
course.
people. We
No,
called
I
out
agree.
Rashford. You lot was going crazy on Rashford,
Yeah, man.
right?
Think about some of the things written about
Yeah.
him as well. And I mean,
people were crashing out with Rashford.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, Rashford has to take accountability
Yeah,
for
of
some of his
course.
unprofessionalism, going to basketball games dressed up like a rapper when he should be training and doing all. So I'm with that.
Yeah.
But let's apply that standard across the board, shall
Yeah.
we?
Well, let's just know that when he joins Everton, David Moyes is not having any of that behaviour. And I think this is a perfect time for Jack Grealish to get back to being Jack Grealish.
I hope he
which
does.
is-
I hope
And
he
yeah, I
does.
hope he does as well. Because you know what, as we said, this is someone that a couple of years ago was sat saying, wow, Villa have got this gem,
Yeah.
This
Me
guy's
too.
this guy's really good. Look how exciting he is. When he signed for City, we all sat here saying, "Wow, this guy is really good." They've got, it's a lot of money, but look how fantastic he is. He's going to be playing under Pep. I mean,
The mere fact that you're calling him Cognac Jack just proves my point. So I'm saying, let's keep it 100 across the board.
Yeah. But I mean, he's got first game against Leeds away as well for Everton. Let's see if
That's
he can,
a nice game for him.
Yeah, let's see if he can impress in
nice
that.
game for
I
him,
mean,
yeah.
that would be a really
Like I
good
said, I hope he
opportunity for him.
does well. But like I said, we also have to be fair.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
And sticking to Birmingham quickly, Jacob Ramsey is closing in on moving to Newcastle for £40 million.
that's a good move.
I mean, this is good for both clubs, I guess. Newcastle are able to get in a target, which is really fantastic for them, considering how their windows panned out. And also Villa, who are really strapped for money. They're having financial issues. I want to say maybe PSR issues. And obviously they missed out on Champions League football. They've not really been able to go out in the window and spend as much as they were able to in maybe previous windows.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a good move for Jacob
That is a good
Ramsey as
move.
well.
I like Ramsey. He's
Yeah,
a good
so do I.
player. And I think Newcastle will be a good move for him. Big club, very good manager. And manager has a reputation, Eddie Howe does, of developing and improving players.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good environment for him
course.
to
And he's
go
English,
to.
yeah.
And it's interesting because Jacob Ramsey, his dad, Mark Ramsey, is a very good boxer, ABA champion, professional. I think he fought Ricky Hatton as a pro as well.
Wow.
But yeah, so I remember, because obviously I'm a lot older
Yeah.
than you, I remember watching his dad in the flesh box as an amateur and pro. So yeah, man, obviously the athletic genes run in the family.
Yeah, no, that's a good move. And then just quick, well, actually, also speaking of, Aston Villa play Newcastle on that first day. So if, when he completes his move,
Wow.
he will be going back to Villa Park
Yeah,
to
that'd be
play
interesting.
against his old club. I mean, this is a close one to call.
Do you
I don't
think
know.
he'll be lining up alongside Isak or what?
Yo, man, could you imagine that? Could you imagine that?
That Isak thing, I'm still...
Yeah.
What's the latest with that now?
Well, at the moment, it's just kind of like, you know...
Because this man said, I'm not playing.
He's basically like, I'm not playing. Eddie Howe's like, he's not a part of the squad. He needs to earn his way back if he's going to be back, which I think is very fair. And then also fair. Newcastle basically, I guess from like a board perspective, obviously earlier said to Liverpool, he's not for sale, but if we are going to sell him, we'll shout you basically. But they've obviously not got a striker in yet.
It'd be interesting to see if Newcastle hold their nerve, you know, because they do hold leverage in this deal.
Yeah,
they could say because they got money.
The guy's got a 3-year contract.
Yeah, they can just say, okay. And don't forget, you know, it's all right Isak saying that. That's one thing to say that. But say Newcastle call his bluff and say, okay then.
Yeah, cool.
You don't want to play?
Say no more.
Kick ball around the local parks.
Under 21s, mate.
You know, it's World Cup year coming up for Sweden as well.
Yeah.
Do you really want to be not playing football and just have your career just go down the pan like that? So, don't know, man. Watch this space.
It's a very interesting moment. I mean, we've got two teams, Aston Villa versus Newcastle. Don't even know.
Where is that game being played?
It's being played at Aston Villa. So at Villa
You'd
Park.
have to make Aston Villa.
Yeah, you would, considering how
Newcastle are in a bit of disarray at the moment. Okay, they've signed Ramsey, which is a good signing. What about Wissa? I mean, he's another one.
Yeah, Wissa's another one who's really pushing for a move to Newcastle.
Pushing for a move?
Yeah.
He's telling them, man, he's another one. That he's going to go on strike.
Yeah, he's really pushing for it. I mean, to be honest, I don't know if I'd be choosing either one of these teams for my final one standing. I think it's a bit too close to call, but I would say I would maybe make Villa favourites just because of last season, how good they were at home. I think the last team to beat them at home was us.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you know what I mean? And that was literally right at the start of the season. Oh, sorry, I guess, in the league, they obviously lost to... Did they lose to PSG at home? But I think they lost on aggregate. Can't remember.
They are strong at home.
They are a very strong team at home. I know they've not really made the signings that they might want to have.
They've
but
not been ultra busy in the
They've
market.
retained Ollie Watkins so far. They've retained Morgan Rogers, who's fantastic.
You'd have to make Villa. I mean, let's be honest, right? I mean, although we've had a little laugh about Isak, he's a tremendous player.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
And
he's one of the best in the league.
I mean, when we played Newcastle in the friendly, his absence was... It was ominous for them. I mean, they had the guy Osulo up front. I mean, he tried his best, so he didn't really make an impression. Yeah,
really. I mean, he was good in the League Cup, but in the league, obviously Jacob Murphy, I think he had a really good season last season as well. Kind of went under the radar.
But when you got one of your talisman players like basically refusing to play, he's out of the team. That's going to leave a big hole.
Yeah, of course.
And I don't know who's going to be able to fill that hole.
Yeah.
So I would make Villa favourites, but. You know, Newcastle are a good team.
Yeah,
they can get Wissa in there early.
Both fantastic teams. We've got to see
mind you, I'm not sure if that's going to happen. I mean, the football season is nigh on going to start.
Yeah, but
Wissa's
I think the window closes 1st of September or last day of...
No, I mean in terms of that game.
Oh, yeah, in terms of that game,
I'm
not sure if we're going to get those players. Well, it'd have to be done as soon as possible. Yeah. We're talking about the next 24 hours. But
yeah, and even if they got Wissa, I'm not sure if he would start. So, I would make Villa favourites for that game. Yeah. We'll have to see how things go.
As well, quickly, Leon Bailey is potentially going to AS Roma as well. I mean, he got limited minutes last season. They brought in Donnell Marlin. So he's probably just thinking, look, I just want to go somewhere and play.
Leon Bailey needs to play football, man. If you've been watching any of the stuff with Leon Bailey, he's managed to hit the headlines for the wrong reasons as well recently. I say no more.
As Jamaicans will tell you.
On social media. But listen, man, Jamaican international, I've not always... had the kindest words to say about Leon Bailey. You know, he fell out with the Jamaican Football Federation, didn't handle himself the best, yet another one. But listen, he is a talented player. He sorted out the stuff with the JFF. He's back playing for Jamaica now, so my mood towards him has softened somewhat. Very talented player, surplus to requirements at Villa, but he's still a good player. Let's hope he does well.
Yeah, no, I agree. But let's just go closer to home, right? Because Alexander Zinchenko, obviously, we know he's got basically no future at Arsenal. And funny enough, I saw some quotes. He did like an interview recently, which came out today, and he actually spoke about the impact of not playing for Arsenal. And I'm just going to read this quote. He says, Eva, which is one of his kids, says, look, there's daddy. And his other child says that they couldn't find him. And his wife says to his kids, no, that's not your dad playing. He's on the bench. And then he said in relation to that, hearing them say that pained me a lot. It made me feel ashamed. I mean, he obviously feels, he's come out basically said how he feels almost like a loser for not starting for Arsenal. I mean, at Arsenal when he joined, he was so pivotal to our team, but unfortunately he had so many injury issues. And then as well, we kind of evolved defensively, where we were like, look, you're so fantastic going forward, but defensively there's a lot of issues there. We can't really rely on you. We had to go and get in, we got in Timber, who ultimately now plays right back, but we've also got in Calafiori, we've got Miles Lewis-Skelly now. I mean, he's been linked to Porto, who are apparently showing really strong interest, but also Fulham like him as well. I mean...
He's still a good player,
yeah,
man.
I think he's still a good player as well.
I've never really thought of it like what he said there with Zinchenko. That has kind of opened my eyes to a little bit of...
I think
and when you got your kids, it must be disheartening.
Yeah, of course.
For a professional footballer. Not only that, we know that Zinchenko is, let's be honest, he's quite an emotional guy.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that did affect him. Listen, we said it when I was chatting about Bissouma. You want to be playing football at the top level for as long as possible. You want to be playing regularly. I know that if I was a professional footballer, I'd be wanting to play every single week. Yeah. Because you can, out of sight, out of mind. Once you're injured or you get dropped for loss of form or whatever, and somebody else comes in and takes your place and they're doing well, even though it's good for the team, for the individual that has to sit there and watch that, it must be soul destroying.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I can understand Zinchenko's disappointments and his heartfelt, feelings of... kind of not so much letting himself down, but the family looking at him and so I can understand that. And listen, he's still young enough and still has the ability to play at the top level. So I hope he. I'd like to see him stay in the Premier League.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind seeing him going to Fulham. They seem to get a lot of our ex-players.
Yeah, they do. I really like Zinchenko. People need to remember as well that his natural position is midfield. I mean, we're talking about someone who's captain of his country as well. Yeah. He's a very pivotal figure in the dressing room. Yes. And I do think, look, if he was to go to Porto or even Fulham, I think that would be a really good move for both of them, because he's a different option. I think as well for Fulham, considering how they played last season, they had what's his name, Robinson? Going really far forward, almost really pushing high up the pitch. You think about maybe you could bring Zinchenko on for him, or you could maybe play Zinchenko in midfield. Creativity-wise, what that could inspire for a team like Fulham and Porto, it would be really good.
Porto's a good look, because let's be honest, if he goes to Porto, there's a high chance he's going to win trophies.
Yeah, he'll be in the Champions League every season. Yeah,
exactly. He'll get that winning feeling.
Yeah.
But Porto's if he goes to Fulham, then obviously he stays in London. There's less upheaval. Yeah. But looking at it from a football perspective, if I was him, the Porto thing would probably attract me a little bit more, because obviously it's a chance as well to go to a different culture. Yeah. Learn a different language. Yeah. Ingratiate yourself with the people there.
I think the style of play in that league as well would suit him quite a lot.
And the guy's been through a lot. Obviously, there's war at home. I know that Zinchenko's very personally invested in that. He's made several statements to that effect. So I do feel sorry for him, man. And he's a very good player. Seems like a really good guy as well. Yeah. So, I hope whatever he chooses next, I hope it works out well for him. Yeah, he's definitely a good guy.
Yeah, I completely agree.
And a very good player as well.
As an Arsenal fan, I know loads of other Arsenal fans feel a bit differently, but I personally feel like I always think about how good and how important he was for our team. And he honestly came in and he revamped that Arsenal team. He made that Arsenal team an average top 5, top 4 team into a challenging team.
If you recall, when he came to the club, he came with Jesus.
We'd finished 5th. We missed out on Champions League.
Arsenal making a statement that we're going to bring in players who are talented players, but also experienced and had won things. Yeah. So the mindset that they brought with them, him and Jesus at the time, that was seen as a major coup. Yeah. So we shouldn't forget that as Arsenal fans.
And I feel like as well, just hearing them, the quotes, and I read a few others, it kind of humanises players a bit more.
Yeah, I must admit, him saying that.
I think as fans sometimes we get obviously carried away, like we sit here and we're just like, oh, why don't you? But you realise actually it means these players, they've dedicated their whole lives since childhood essentially to play football at the top level, and obviously maybe to miss out because you've been injured or because someone more young and favourable comes along, it can be very disheartening.
Like we said, it's a ruthless business. But that statement he made there is very relatable. I can understand, like, he must feel that sense of disappointment when you got your kids, oh, daddy, you playing today? You know what I mean? And he's having to tell them no, and they're not seeing him on TV. They're used to seeing him, they're not now.
And just quickly wrapping up on Fulham, obviously they want to try and get Reece Nelson on loan, but they're also trying to get Shakhtar winger Kevin. I mean, the players agreed to join, but Shakhtar basically said we want 50 million euros. And they also have Leeds still trying to chase him for Rodrigo Munoz, who obviously plays up top. They did reject a bid for him early on, but maybe now they've got Calvert Lewin in, they might maybe call their interest, but we never know. I think they're still quite hot on his heels. I mean, if they could get Reece Nelson on loan, who obviously again is out of favour with Arsenal, and then maybe bring in Kevin, who's a Brazilian player.
I like the way these Brazilians just have.
Yeah, they've got these really cool names, man.
Kevin.
Yeah,
Willian,
they've either got these really long Portuguese-based names, or they got this random English name like Kevin or something like that. It's actually really cool. I like it.
It is, it's cool, yeah.
But I mean, if they can maybe get some more attacking options in, they play. I thought Fulham was pretty good last season.
I mean, Fulham, they play good football, got a good manager, and Fulham are a good team.
No, for sure. Well, that's basically it for today, guys. Before we go, let's just remind you, your survival instincts are going to be tested. It's time for Final One Standing. It's free to play. There's a 500k jackpot. There's no admin fees, and it's guaranteed winners only. Just each week, pick one team to win. If they do, you're through to the next round. If they don't, if they lose or they draw, you're out. Make sure to download the William Hill app, scan the QR code on the screen or click the link below. And remember, it's free to register for, and make your pick so you could potentially win £500,000. You have to be 18 plus, and it's UK and Ireland only. Remember to always gamble responsibly, and full T's and C's apply. It's all linked below. Uncle Larry, thank you so much.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Always enjoyed talking about football. I enjoy the Lilac 5 show.
Yeah, Lilac 5. We don't know where my dad is. He doesn't want to work on DR anymore, basically, guys. So we got to hold it down.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I've enjoyed talking about football. Always do.
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check us out on all of our social media platforms. You want to shout out LL Sports TV?
Yep, don't forget LL Sports TV. I've got a show coming up with yourself and your dad. We're going to be talking about all things Arsenal. So make sure you check that out. LL Sports TV. Also doing some boxing stuff. In fact, we at the weekend, we got a big boxing show we're doing on DR Sports. We're doing a live broadcast of the Itama versus Dillian White. We're doing a watch along for that fight. Got some special guests in. Going to be starting about 8 o'clock right through. Should be fun. So make sure you check that out on DR Sports this Saturday.
And also don't forget, we've got the Super Cup watch along tonight. I think AGT, Robbie, I don't know, Stuart are on it. Abby's on it. So make sure you jump back in. I think we'll be going the game's at 8. We'll probably be going live at 7:30. So make sure you're back here. Don't miss out on it. It's going to be a really good game. But thank you very much and see you soon.